The wild here doesn't whisper, it roars. Glaciers crack like thunder. Waterfalls carve paths through time. And in the middle of it all, she waits. Motor yacht unbridled. A sanctuary of warmth and refinement in the heart of Alaska's untamed frontier. Bears wander the shoreline. Whales breach on the horizon. Seals nap on drifting ice while you sip champagne on the aft deck. This isn't a cruise, it's a calling, and only the bold will answer. Now booking your next unforgettable charter, yachtunbridled.com or through your preferred charter broker.
Top of the morning, folks. It's evening in South Africa in Cape Town. We've got the lovely Cassidy here from Auraflow Yoga. Blessed to have you this morning or the evening for you, Cassidy. How's things?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. And it's so lovely to finally meet you, even though it's on a little screen.
Likewise. Well, I've been watching your YouTube channel the last kind of week in preparation for this. I've been going through your kind of 3-phase course. But tell us a little bit about your story. You know, you're born in Cape Town, correct?
So I'm actually born and bred in Johannesburg. I moved down to Cape Town, met my partner, and then 3 years ago, we decided to join the yachting industry together. And it's been a wild ride, I can tell you that.
Years in it, it's still wild, dear.
Yes, I can imagine. So, yeah, kind of jumped from boat to boat, not really giving myself like a good enough gap in between those contracts.
Yeah.
So by the end of it, which was 6 months ago when when we decided to come home, I was completely burnt out.
Yeah.
So I was suffering from chronic fatigue. I had really bad anxiety. You know, I was emotionally shutting down, and physically my body wasn't really handling my day to day.
Yeah.
I remember going to the chiropractor because I had really bad neck pain, and the chiropractor was like, you need to find a different line of work.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I can't really do that because this is kind of what I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of took a break, and
but that seems to be like we did a check-in Tuesday yesterday about abuse and assault. Would you say that's a normal trend? Like, I think that's a normal scenario in yachting. People join with high expectations, have fun for the first year or two, and then year 3 comes and they're in a situation and their body just it just shuts down. And so what are the stresses you saw?
So
without names or anything, you don't need to,
Yeah, so coming from smaller boats, it was kind of hard to get thrown into the deep end and kind of juggle every single part of the interior department on my own as a greenie. Would not recommend that. But to be honest, the one thing that I think would really help is, like I said to you before our call, is definitely leadership and just exposure as well. So 2 ways that I think we would be able to make the industry a better place is starting with leadership and then teaching leadership those specific signs and tools of burnout to be able to prepare themselves and then prepare other crew, and then also just crew, because I thought I was fine. I thought it was just like kind of part of the job.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I had that mentality of if they see that you're weak, you're gone.
You got to smile through it. You got to smile through it.
You out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of me learning how to set boundaries. And I actually learned that through therapy, because I did kind of turn to therapy on my last boat, because it was just I didn't know who I was. I was just not myself, and I was physically and emotionally drained, and I was isolating myself, and it was not a good look. That's all I'm saying.
And also, I agree with you. And I've felt burnout in my career. And like sometimes I've done 25 years in yachting, and I usually say to crew, look, if you're not exhausted at the end of a charter or the end of a season, we're not doing enough. Like, that's the mentality of yachting.
Yes.
And that is a cop-out, because what I'm learning now by speaking to people like yourselves or these Tuesday check-ins or the Captain Chat series That's the wrong approach. The right approach is to try and give tools to people to create some form of stability that they can maintain their physical and mental health at all times.
Exactly.
Irrelevant whether you're on charter or you're off charter. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yes, no, exactly. And I think it's also, I feel like the world that we live in, all your self-care, all your self-help, all the advice that's going out in out in the world, it's more for people who work 9 to 5, they work desk jobs, they actually get to go home. Whereas we work in a very crazy industry. We literally wake up at work. We've got tiny spaces.
Yeah.
We live with a whole bunch of strangers.
Yeah.
We don't have a standard schedule. So
you can't wake up and have your coffee on the balcony and relax. It's like you wake up, you go.
Exactly. And you go, and if you're taking too long drinking your coffee, you've got your HOD staring at you like, why? You should have woken up earlier.
I don't know, sometimes when I look relaxed or something, I feel it's not right. People are looking at you like, why are you so relaxed?
Yes.
Why are you so calm? And I'm like, well,
exactly.
Get to work. Even as a captain.
This is yachting. Come on. You should not be relaxed.
People want your stress. So then we talk about Auraflow Yoga. So where did that little gem start? Because I was watching, like I said, your YouTube channel. I think it's great. And there's a good little series. You got the 3-part series. I think it's fantastic. I've started that and I've 2 more days. And I've just gone on a little yoga retreat in Mexico, which was life-changing.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
It's something I've always wanted to do, and I was real afraid of it. And when I went there, the gentleman said, have you done yoga before? I said, no. And he says, well, you've actually done it a lot of your life. You just haven't done it on the mat.
Exactly.
For anyone who cares about someone else, yoga's about being, not doing. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. It's more like a way of life.
Yeah. So tell me about your journey, Auraflow Yoga. Where did that idea come from, and what's your kind of journey and take on it?
So I started my yoga journey in COVID, like many people, of course.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So
great way to use the time.
Yes, exactly. And at the time I was working in travel, so I did get laid off. Because, of course, no one was able to travel. So I did turn to yoga, watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and I absolutely fell in love with it and decided to do my yoga teacher training course. And from there, to make money in order to join the yachting industry, I started selling my own eco-friendly mats, funny enough.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah. So that was like carrying on for a little bit. And then I had to close that down when I joined the yachting industry because, of course, I wasn't going to be able to juggle both.
Yeah.
And and then when I came home, I was like, I love the brand that I've created so far, but I want to take it a step further. And because yoga definitely was the only thing keeping me going in my yachting career. I would always turn to yoga when I was feeling stressed out or a little bit stiff, or I just needed like a minute to myself. And I felt like I wanted to share that with other people. And because burnout is definitely something that is not spoken about enough, especially in our industry, I kind of used the time being at home to take my experience in yachting, take my expertise in yoga, and do a little bit of nervous system research and combine it together by making shorter practices that tackle all three of those things. So movement, breathwork, and then also nervous system regulation. And that's kind of where I am right now.
Wow. Now let's go into the nervous system first, because I understand the breath work and the movement. The nervous system, you're talking about the different, what's it called? There's a certain, describe the nervous system, how it affects people's balance in terms of mental balance.
So nervous system in this aspect that I'm looking at is, when you're on charter or you've got guests on board and for some reason you are just like tripping out, you're panicking, you're literally about to go like to do service, or you literally need you're doing the things. I want to teach people quick little fixes to be able to go, okay, cool. I'm freaking out right now. Like my heart rate is literally through the roof right now. What small little practices can I do that is scientifically proven to be able to like calm the F down and, get the nervous system back to normal?
And what's an example? Because I mean, I did see the Instagram page and I saw the kind of you're doing yoga in places that I just think is really unique, because it's taking away from that, got to go do a course, got to go to a local studio, got to go somewhere.
Yes.
You're doing it in in the bed, or you're doing it in different areas. So tell us about something, like if you're a stewardess and you're in that situation, what's a little reset that you'd like to give? You'd advise people that. Like even just hanging, like free hanging for a couple of minutes, or?
My absolute favorite, legs up the wall. Legs up, 2 legs up. And I mean, we all scroll on our phone, right?
Yeah.
Like we've got time to scroll on our phone, but we don't have time to do like a little bit of self-care or self-help. So honestly, legs up the wall, and just, combining that with a little bit of breath work. My favorite one is box breathing. So it's inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. And you chill there, and you feel so zen and so calm, and you're ready to tackle the rest of the day.
Lovely. So just like 5 minutes, just take 5-10 minutes or whatever you
Exactly.
can. Okay.
Exactly.
Next time I see a crew member in that position, I'm like, I know they're listening to Cassidy.
I love that.
Yeah, so Auraflow Yoga, we talked about the physical side, the breath work, which is hugely important, and then the nervous system. In terms of what your journey is now, like I see it's more instructional. Are you kind of hoping to, because a lot of times now, like with crew even on board the vessel now, they're like, we've got to go to a yoga studio. We've got to go to a yoga studio. Are you starting to offer lessons online? Because I think that would be exciting.
Yeah, so at the moment, what I'm working on is you saw one of my free little programs, which is literally 3 days. So I want to do a couple of programs like that. And then eventually I want to do something called hybrid coaching, where people connect with me. I have a short little one-on-one call with them, kind of figure out like what their needs are, which one of the symptoms in burnout they're in, if they are needing to recover or trying to prevent, and then building a program around that.
Lovely.
So giving them little exercises, little tools that they can do pre-shift, mid-shift, post-shift.
Perfect.
Just to sort them out.
Because that's even and I'll definitely join up. I'll be your number one subscriber here. The challenge I'm facing is, and your partner's name's Liam, so I'm biased,
Yeah. Thank you.
The challenge I'm facing is I'm excited about yoga. I want to do it. I want to engage in the breath work. But like when I'm doing a class, it's like almost an hour and a half.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I haven't got all that time.
I don't have time for this.
I've only got like half an hour max, so is that
exactly.
something you could work with me on, like a half an hour program in the morning or afternoon, just to start the day and then close the day? Is that something that's what you're thinking of?
Exactly. So majority of my programs, because I'm catering to not just yachties, but on your feet professionals, where you kind of on your feet all day, you don't really know when your shift is going to end. So you're working ridiculous amounts of hours. And for us, it's hard because we might be anchored out.
Yeah.
So you can't really get to the studio. But I mean, it just takes 5 minutes in the morning. I mean, even now being at home, I literally just do a 10-minute yoga routine and I'm sorted for the day.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Oh, that's good to know. I think more people need to hear that. It's one of the points of this conversation is for people to understand that yoga isn't doing, it's being. It's taking a 10-minute break, resetting.
Exactly. It's all about consistency.
Yeah, but it's what I've noticed, I think, in my journey in yoga is it's about a presence as well, correct?
Exactly.
Finding presence in yourself, finding presence in your space around you. So this burnout loop, explain that, because I believe in the industry we've normalized it. burnout's normal.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's being completely honest, but it's also being completely, ignorant to the damage that it does cause. Because after 25 years in yachting, people like myself and captains in my role do say burnout's normal, toughen up. That's just the way it is.
Exactly. No, exactly that.
That's wrong though, because our demands are higher and higher.
Yes. And then I thought I was the problem. I thought, oh my gosh, what? Come on, man, pull yourself together. Why are you not able to handle this industry?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really like, why does it look like other people are able to get through this industry so easily, but you are here suffering in silence? And when you're speaking up, you kind of getting shut down, or, this is yachting, come on, push through. And that's like, it's definitely that culture kind of needs to die out, because burnout is definitely becoming a norm in the industry. And it's really sad to watch, because I mean, we've got such a beautiful industry.
Yep.
And I mean, we're all in this industry together. And to us as yachties, we are so fortunate, because we're in these beautiful places. We get paid really damn well, and we meet interesting people. But you kind of get like a brain fog, because you burnt out, because you stressed out, because you numbing your stress with booze and other substances. You kind of, the present moment kind of gets fogged out for you.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. So we know the kind of signs, the fatigue, the isolation, the
Yes.
self-doubt, the abuse of different things. What are the tools that you recommend? I mean, obviously you're talking about yoga itself and being present. What other things do you kind of think we can build on as a team and as an industry?
So one thing, it's of course not in my forte, but I would definitely recommend therapy.
Yeah.
I think therapy in the industry should definitely be
Normalized.
even compulsory, because I mean, we're doing all these first aid courses, doing all these safety courses, but I feel like therapy is also a safety course in a way, because it's going to teach you how to mentally protect yourself from situations like this.
Yeah, well, it is. I think now, from mental illness, people used to say, to mental fitness,
Yes.
that's kind of the turn that we need to take. And I fully agree with therapy. I think it's great. I speak to a therapist, and not in the sense that, how to drive a boat better. That's not what I'm doing. I'm looking at what tools can I work on to be a better human being, to give back more.
Exactly.
So it's not so much about what's the problem with me. It's how do I protect myself against the stresses around me, and how do I make myself a better person? And I think
exactly.
That's
Exactly. Yeah. So I think definitely the therapy, movement is of course very important. I'm not just saying that because I'm a yoga instructor. Breath work, of course, because you'll see in one of my courses, I say that shallow breathing equals panic. And it is so true. Most people don't realize that they're breathing wrong.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that could also be a small little tool where you can also, kind of be present and be like, oh my gosh, I'm like, my breathing is totally off. That's probably why my heart rate is going.
Yeah.
This is probably why I'm panicking. It's one small little fix that I just need to implement.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's hard though, because it's a I'm being honest, I see yachting now and I see stewardesses and deck crew. They don't stop from the moment they wake up. It's different on the bridge.
Yes.
After 25 years, I'll be honest, it's different on the bridge. We look around, our job's to keep the ship calm and safe. So we should be the most calmest and safest, the captains and the heads of department. But I look around to the other crew, they're not stopping all day. They're hardly stopping for water. So
exactly.
as a leader, what's your advice to people in my role? Do we change the structure a little bit, the schedule? Do we give more breaks?
Yes.
Or do we focus on training these tools of breath work and yoga and therapy and before the charter, before the season?
So I think a little bit of both. I think definitely restructuring could take a little bit of the edge off. But yeah, I highly recommend before a charter season to kind of give your crew the tools, in case they are feeling a little bit overwhelmed or a little bit burnt out.
Yeah. So we're doing
And it's nice, when you're doing it it's really nice when you're doing it as a team as well, because you're kind of like hyping each other up, motivating each other, and if you see on charter that someone's kind of, you know, they've got a little bit of anxiety, be like, hey, remember Cass taught you that breathwork trick?
Put
Just
your
remember
legs up. Put your legs up.
Exactly. Legs up the wall.
No, I think you're right. I think the industry has changing and we have to adapt, because the negative side of it is the tragedies like Page, the tragedies like happening in St. Martin, the different issues with drug and alcohol abuse in the yachting industry. That's the consequence of not addressing it. Would you agree?
Exactly. Yes, 100%.
Where people's mental instability. So we talk about the burnout loop a lot, correct?
Yes.
What's the loop? Because I love closing the cycle, I tell people. Have the conversation.
So in your aspect, what do you mean the burnout loop? So are you talking about
like you've got a stressor, you've got like the stressor is the external factors that cause the burnout, which like you feel. At that point, is the best thing to walk away from that scenario, or is the best thing to seek therapy, seek external help, do yoga? But once it's happened, correct?
Yes.
Where the best option is to leave that scenario.
Exactly. Yeah, I think when the scenarios happen, it is definitely the best way is to walk away.
Yeah.
Because if you don't walk away, I feel like you're just going to make the issue worse for yourself. Yeah, exactly. So that also gives more energy than what you have, because you're already running on like low energy, and now you're giving more energy into that, and you're getting worked up and freaking out, when it's better just to walk away, take a breath, not necessarily do movement, but just walk away, sit with your thoughts, and then figure out what the best step is to go from there.
Okay, fantastic. So what's next for, the yoga, Auraflow Yoga? What's next? You going back to the mats as well, or the mat journey's happened?
So the mat journey is still going to be happening. And then I've also got an idea of doing a little bit of active wear as well, because I love active wear. Yeah, but I think for now, the real focus is just kind of to build this online thing going, do the hybrid coaching, and then take it from there.
Okay, well, you've got me signed up. I'm on day one now, so I've got to finish that first one, and then on the next 2 days. And I'll introduce you to some of the crew as well. And our chief stewardess, Tiffany's quite into the yoga, and our other stewardess as well is into it. So I'm going to try and introduce you to them. But I think you've built something really special. I think you've built something that the industry
Thank you.
needs, and I'm really proud of the way you're kind of being open and transparent about it, because that does help the change. Because I do see so many junior crew like join the industry, and then within a year or 2 or 3, I see them in tears. And I'm like, how are you in tears?
Exactly.
And as a captain, like you're saying, it's my fault. As a captain, I have to take responsibility. There's no way to skin it. So what I'm looking for is the tools. And I think what you provide is a great tool for the crew and for the team to help resolve those issues.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
And I hope to see you back on another yacht.
Yes, for sure.
All right, Cassidy, how can people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on Instagram on Auraflow Yoga.
And you've got Facebook, and you've got a web page.
Exactly. Facebook, web page, it's all there.
All right, I'll drop the links in the comments below when we post it. And there's also the 3-day course, which I think is a must for people to sign up to. And then we're going to start trying to do the one-on-one coaching. And then I'm going to work with you personally and try and get myself a little 15, 30-minute, how do I start and finish the day? Because the 1.5 hour, I just can't do the 1.5 hour on the back. Also, my mind runs too quick.
It's just too much. Yes, exactly. My mind is constantly thinking of, all sorts of things. I also can't myself. 90 minutes, it's too much. It's too much.
I try and do it like these times right now, 6 to 7. But once 7 o'clock hits or I see the sun come up, I'm thinking, all right, guess movement, tenders, diving,
Yes,
fishing, the mind
it's
just
a go.
goes. So I really look forward to working with you on it. Thanks again. Any final sayings for everyone?
No, I actually don't. I feel like I've just yapped so much in this call,
Oh,
but
you
thank you for hearing me out. And I look forward to working with you and working with anyone else who is keen to, work through their burnout journey or prevent burnout.
Yeah, invest in themselves. That's the goal.
Exactly.
Namaste. Be best.
Namaste.
Namaste. All right, be safe.
If your brand belongs in the heart of the yachting world, this is where it happens. Yachting International Radio reaches over 1 million yachting professionals and enthusiasts every month, with 77 million impressions, 220,000 social followers, and 74,000 podcast subscribers. Our hosts are insiders, crew, captains, CEOs, trusted voices shaping the industry. This is targeted, high-impact advertising in a luxury niche. Visit yachtinginternationalradio.com/advertise. Your audience is already listening.